Let's make believe you're a Yetzer Hara. And you come to your whatever, and you say, let's do an Aveda. And the guy says, no. What would you say? If you're a good Yetzer Hara.
Stop pretending to be holy. And you sin anyways.
And
One time does your hiding.
so look at what the Rebbe is saying here. You say to your Yetzer Hara, I don't want to be a Rasha. That's not good enough. Because your Yetzer Hara is going to say, don't be a Rasha. What are you talking about? God forbid, I would never suggest such a thing. What do you take me for? Don't be a Rasha. Just this once. It's an exception. It's an emergency. I'll never ask you to do this again, just this once. So that you have to say to your Yetzer Hara, read further, Afilu sha achas. Not even temporarily. You think the Yetzer Hara gives up? The Yetzer Hara says, excuse me, I happen to be your taiva. Don't tell me you don't want to do it even for a moment. You do want to do it. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about your taiva. You want very much to do the Aveda. So why won't you do it? So in the olden days, religious people would say, oh no, I don't want. And the Yetzer Hara say, yes, you do. But no, I don't want. Eventually, the Yetzer Hara makes a fool of you. You don't want to? Whose taiva are we talking about here? It's your taiva. Read on further. What next do you say to your Yetzer Hara?
Being is separating from Hashem.
Yes, I want to do the Aveda, obviously. That's what we're talking about. But I'm not going to do it because I don't want the consequence. What is the consequence? Liyes nifred. I don't want to get separated from the Eibishter. So do I want to do the Aveda? Yes. But if it separates me from the Eibishter, no. So what does it say? Ki eneni reitze liyes muvdol v'nifred chas v'sholem me'Hashem echad b'shum eifen ki d'chsiv aveneseichem mavdilen. What does a good Yetzer Hara say to that? And every Yetzer Hara is good.
What does it even mean to be separated from the Eibishter?
No, you're never right. You're Jewish always. It's not like we're going to ever not be Jewish. It's not like you're ever not going to be ever Jewish. You're stuck with it anyway, so you might as well enjoy it while you're at it.
Right. The Yetzer Hara says, you don't want to be separated from the Eibishter? you low life. You have a taiva for a sin. That doesn't separate you from the Eibishter? You think what separates you from the Eibishter is doing the sin? You're so shallow. It's not what you do, it's what you are. You are separated from the Eibishter because you have a taiva for things he hates. Isn't that a separation? So don't be so shallow. You're separated internally. It's not going to make much of a difference whether you do the sin or not. So if you were religious before Chassidus, you would say, oh no. And the Yetzer Hara would make a fool of you. Because, oh yes. What does a Chassid say? A Chassid says, ah yeah, you're right. course, you're right. Rak. Continue on. Rak ani reitze ledavka bei nafshi ruchi v'nishmosi b'hislapsham b'shleisha levushov yizbarech shehemaise dibur u'machshava b'Hashem v'teirase u'mitzveisav. You say to your Yetzer Hara, you're right. I am very far from God, even if I don't do the Aveda. It's true. But I don't like that. I want to be closer. And that's why I will not eat the non-kosher thing. I will not do the Aveda. Because I am far from God and it bothers me. I want to be closer to God. What does the Yetzer Hara say to that? The Yetzer Hara says, now you've become a hypocrite.
How do you say?
Here you have a taiva to do an Aveda. You want to get closer to the Aveda, and you're telling me you want to get closer to the Eibishter. You're such a hypocrite. Who are you really? Your taiva or your opinion? Obviously, you're taiva. So what are you giving me this? I want to be closer to the Eibishter. You're chalishing for a non-kosher sandwich.
He doesn't.
Doesn't what?
Doesn't need it.
Huh?
Doesn't need it. He's not his time, he's decision.
And that's how you're feeling. Feeling if I want to eat.
So,
The taiva is higher than the...
Hmm?
Taiva is higher than the...
And what?
It's meaning it's... The fact that you have a taiva shows on who you are internally. So that's what it's saying.
Well, it certainly says something about you.
Yeah. And afterwards, then,
So imagine a person is alone in an airport someplace. The flight is delayed. You're not going to have another flight for 6 hours. You haven't eaten. You didn't bring anything with you. And there's this non-kosher, really good-smelling... your mouth is watering. You say, no. The Yetzer Hara says, why no? And you say, because I want to be closer to the Eibishter. The Yetzer Hara says, I've never seen your mouth water about the Eibishter. I've never heard your stomach growl for the Eibishter. You're such a hypocrite. And this is where most people give up. Because really, I mean, it's not nice to be a hypocrite. So how do you avoid being a hypocrite? You give in to the taiva. Oh, that makes you a hypocrite against your nefesh elikis. All right, nobody thinks that far. So what does a chassid say to his Yetzer Hara? You're right. What I want is to get closer to the sandwich. Let's continue on. May ahava misuteres, because of a hidden love, shebelibi laHashem, kemei belev klolus Yisrael shenikru eyav shmecha. Here you have to make a distinction between yourself, meaning your ego, and your Jewishness. You say to your Yetzer Hara, if you're talking about me, what do I want to get closer to? I want to get closer to the Aveda. Absolutely right. The Jewish part of me, the Jew in me, wants to get closer to the Eibishter. Not because I'm special. Because afilu kal shebekalim yochol limser nafshi al kedushas Hashem. There's nothing special about me. It's just a Jewish thing. Even the worst and lowest Jew, the Kal Shebekalim, loves the Eibishter and will not give up the Eibishter even if it kills him. So as far as me as a human being, I'm a hypocrite and I'm a liar and I really want to just do the Aveda. But the Jew in me does not. The Jew in me wants to be closer to the Eibishter. What are the next words? You need a Tanya?
What?
You need a Tanya?
This works. I'm sure other people do it Tanya, but other people need a Tanya.
So what are the next words? V'lo neifel anechi mimenu bevadai. See that? Afilu kal shebekalim yochel limse nafshi al kedushas Hashem. And I'm not worse than the lowest of the low. Don't get ridiculous. What does the Yetzer Hara say to that?
Sometimes you ever listen to what the Jews can't want it anyway. Lovely, he wants it, who cares?
You could totally be lowest of the low.
Yeah. Why not? That's,
Lower than the lowest of the low?
yeah,
You have to be very arrogant to believe that.
Well,
at least get into the Guinness Book of Records. I mean, like,
That's arrogant.
yeah.
I am the lowest of the lowest of the low.
It's arrogant, the same way you say they're gonna, you know.
To this, the Yetzer Hara says, oh, the lowest of the low, right. See? The lowest of the low is willing to give up his life. What is the lowest of the low? Somebody who doesn't keep kosher. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Why can't you be like the lowest of the low? He eats whatever he wants, he does whatever he wants, but if he is asked to stop being Jewish, no way. So why can't you be like that too? Here's where the argument comes in. You know you're going to be Jewish anyway. So what does a chassid say to that? Ella. Ella. What is it that makes the lowest of the low what he is? Shenichnas beiruach shtus. If he's the type of person who would rather die than give up the Eibishter, then how did he become the lowest of the low? The answer is nichnas beiruach shtus. He's totally confused. What is the ruach shtus? Nidme she ba'aveda zu edenu b'yahadusay. The ruach shtus is he's convinced himself that his behavior doesn't matter. And that even if he does the Aveda, he remains the same Jew as before. Ve'ein nishmosei muvdelis melikei Yisrael, and he does not get separated from God, which is crazy. V'gam shecheach ahavosei laHashem hamesuteres b'libei, and he also forgets the ahava that he has by nature in his heart. So he thinks the sin won't separate him. That's why he'll do an Aveda. And he forgets the Ava that he has. That's why he doesn't do a mitzvah.
But he's got a point. What's the question? The Rosh does and the Yetzer Hara isn't like the Yetzer Hara the one that gives you the Rosh does.
Mhm.
It's simple.
So how did the lowest of the low, who would rather die than stop being Jewish, how did he stop acting Jewish?
He got tricked by you.
He is deluded into thinking that it doesn't make a difference.
But you have to establish fact that you will be Jewish whatever happens.
Yes.
It doesn't make
So that's a fact. You can't exactly take that away from him. He has
Exactly.
a very valid argument.
Yes. The argument works something like this. If I am not nice to my wife, we are still as married as before. Right.
Until you're not.
And therefore, if I'm really married for keeps, forever, till... Never mind. That's why I don't have to be nice to her anymore. Now, is that deluded?
Well, that's why there's the concept of divorce in order for that not to happen.
But the argument that if we're really committed to each other, I don't have to be nice to you?
No, there's no divorce in... The reason divorce was created was in order to make sure that people actually stay together. Otherwise, that's it forever. Number one, nobody ever get married, and number two, people who do would just be insane. But I'm saying there's not like a you can ever get a get from God, which is that it's true.
And if your motivation.
So what
for doing
conclusion
this
does that bring you to?
The conclusion is that I will always remain a Jew. So
And therefore,
if that's what I'm worried about with my connection with God, then I don't actually have to worry about my actions, because yes, I will it will be a negative experience, but at the end of the day, I'm still there.
yeah, but that is a twisted mind.
So what? They're only in it for themselves. What do you mean by twisted? At the end of the day, they have a valid point.
No,
will
they
be
don't.
Connected to God, so it doesn't make any much of a difference if I do absolutely anything.
No.
I'll always be there.
Right. I am so connected to God. I am so much a part of God. He is so much a part of me that I can ignore him.
Yeah.
No, that's insane. That's insane.
You just want the better of both worlds. But it's a fact, though. It's not like it's whether nice or.
But the
twisted or whatever it
conclusion-
may be, it's a fact.
Yes, but when you twist a fact, that's called meshugah. So when you take that fact and come to the conclusion that you don't have to be nice to your wife because she's very loyal, that's twisted thinking. She's so loyal to me that even if I abuse her, she won't divorce me. So I might as well abuse her. She's so good, she's so kind, she's so loyal, I might as well abuse her. What kind of thinking is that? We are married forever. We swore allegiance to each other, so I can hurt her now.
It's not exactly we're making the same decisions over here.
It's the same twisted thinking. I am so Jewish, I don't need to be Jewish. You're verblunget in your thinking. So you say to your Yetzer Hara, you're suggesting that I should be like the lowest of the low. Yeah, but you know what's wrong with the lowest of the low?
I think they've got a great life.
They have horrible relationships.
What's wrong with the lowest of the low is that he's not thinking clearly. So you want me to what? Not think clearly? You want me to make believe I'm crazy? So what are the last words? Aval ani, but I am still conscious and still thinking clearly, and neni reitza li sheita kamayu. I don't want to be crazy. What is the craziness? The last words? Lichper ha'emes, to deny the truth.